Marketplace is on the move, going undercover, tracking every step of a long-distance move.
That's our stuff, sitting there in a movie theater parking lot for an entire weekend.
That's just unbelievable.
Inaccurate quotes, suspicious weights.
Pretty much went in shock. I couldn't believe what the price was.
Can you trust your mover?
How is it that you are charging for more than the actual weight is?
It's a mistake sometimes, it's error.
This is your marketplace. It's moving day. Let's unload. And we've got a one-bedroom apartment's worth of stuff we're getting ready to send across the country. I'm doing the light stuff. Every year, nearly 300,000 Canadians move between provinces. Our move will start at this house in Mississauga, Ontario, and end at this storage facility in Calgary, Alberta, 3,400 kilometers away. Melissa, what can we use to hide this GoPro camera? But ours is not your ordinary move. We're setting up hidden cameras. Flower cams are tricky. Logging all of our stuff carefully. And that's not all. We'll be monitoring along the way. We want to know the journey that all this stuff is going to take, and so to be able to track it, we've got this, a GPS device that will tell us every step of the way where all this stuff actually is, and we're going to secretly put it in right there. Why all the secrecy? Well, many of you tell us your move was a rocky and expensive journey, so we want to get to the bottom of what might be going on. A move from Edmonton, Alberta to Comox, BC was about getting a fresh start for one family.
Do you want some of this? This has like egg and stuff.
Oh, yes.
Corinne Murphy and her kids are in their new home, but it's dinner on the floor tonight. Their belongings still en route.
What are you most excited about opening when we get our stuff tomorrow?
I have a cheesy bobblehead and
Corinne doesn't have a lot of cash to spare, so packs light. Long-distance moves are usually charged by weight.
I decided that I was only going to take the bare minimum of what I wanted and the things that were important to us for the kids.
Can you open this?
She figures she has about a one-bedroom apartment worth of stuff. The movers she hires estimate that weighs 1,000 to 2,000 pounds, and they quote $1,100.
I was excited because the quote they gave me was manageable for our budget. We still had to pay for rent and first and last month and all that.
But before Corinne's things arrive, the movers tell her it's going to cost more.
I was floored. I pretty much went in shock. I couldn't believe what the price was.
The company she hires, Atlantic Van Lines, claims her move actually weighs in at over 6,000 pounds. The new price tag? More than $2,700 in weight charges alone. They say pay up or forget about getting your stuff.
I was panicking because I didn't have that money. I didn't have beds for the kids, nothing. I had nothing, and I had less than nothing now.
Losing her things is not an option, so Corinne turns to a crowdfunding site to raise money.
And so people click here and they can transfer some money to us to help us out.
She also writes to Marketplace and asks us to investigate.
It were just things that you just can't buy. And so I knew that I would have to find a way to raise money to get it back and bring it back to us.
She's not giving up. And the prediction inside her fortune cookie might just be the encouragement she needs.
But it says, your hard work will soon pay off. That's really funny. And I hope it's true.
What Corinne doesn't know is she's not the only one Marketplace is talking to.
I moved from Toronto to St. Catharines, Ontario.
I moved from Thunder Bay, Ontario to St. Catharines, Ontario.
Ottawa, Ontario to Moncton, New Brunswick.
Langley, British Columbia to Hammonds Plains, Nova Scotia.
Across Canada, we speak to over 20 people shocked by the final weight and price of their move.
The price of my move increased almost $1,600.
By about $750.
By over $2,000.
For them, something's not adding up.
It really just seemed shocking that that amount of stuff that I moved could weigh quite that much.
They wouldn't unload the truck until we gave them the money.
It was just all very aggravating and time-consuming as a whole.
I was very, very stressed by the whole situation.
Jim Carney hears complaints like this all the time.
It's gone too far. It's absolutely gone too far. And as a result, the moving industry in general is getting a horrific name.
For him, it's personal. He's been in the industry for 40 years, started out lifting furniture, now sits on the board of the Canadian Association of Movers. He also runs his own moving company.
How often do you think it happens that people get a quote, the stuff gets there, they get charged way more?
I've never seen it this bad as it is right now.
Why is it so bad now?
Just so easy for anyone to become a mover. You don't need a special license. All that you simply need is a nice looking website, a phone, and a nice sounding voice at the other end of the phone, and you're up and running.
How do you know that the weight they're saying it is actually is that weight?
Yeah, you really don't. You're trusting the mover, and you're trusting the mover with all your possessions, all your heirlooms.
So who are we going to trust with our move?
Okay, I think that's packed.
Like others, we look for a company by going online.
Quick quote, moving from Ontario to Alberta.
We check out some sites that promise to link you to the right mover and send quotes.
Move size. Well, 1-bedroom apartment.
You tell them what you have, they estimate what it weighs and what it'll cost to ship.
Okay. Get quotes.
Lots of movers want our business, and we get emails from 16 of them. Some of the lowest quotes come from the same 3 companies used by those folks with complaints.
I hired Atlantic Van Lines.
Kingsway Van Lines.
Trillium Moving and Storage.
Is there a pattern here? We start digging and discover the companies are connected. They're all run by the same couple, Elena and Murat Baldock. They're also directors of Armour Van Lines, Canadian Moving Systems, and Troy Transportation. And get this, 1/3 of our quotes come from the Baldock's various companies. Sure increases their chance of getting our business. We choose Kingsway Van Lines.
When we tell them about all the stuff that we have, they give us a quote of $1,112.
You want to tape all around them?
Could do.
Yeah.
Seal some of these up?
I think so.
All right, let's do it. They're coming. I'm leaving. Good luck.
Thank you.
Our stuff is ready to go. And just in time, the movers have arrived.
Boxes?
Yes, so the boxes and the furniture.
They load up our stuff, including the box with the GPS inside. Our move is on its way. The GPS starts tracking exactly where it's going, but less than a minute in, things seem to stall. We go check it out, but it's not our equipment that's malfunctioning. Yep, that's our moving truck, hood up, less than a kilometer away. A bumpy start to our cross-country journey. Back on the West Coast, Corinne's move is about to arrive. Thanks to her crowdfunding, she's raised the money Atlantic Van Lines says she owes.
Would you like to pay?
The bank draft inside. I'm feeling relieved that I have my stuff. The kids are very excited. I feel drained emotionally by it. I'm really emotional.
Corinne's finally reunited with her belongings, but she still believes she's being ripped off by over $1,000. Is she right? We don't let her unpack just yet. That's because we've been waiting for this delivery too. As soon as Atlantic Van Lines moves out, we move in. These movers are with us. We've hired them to load all of Corinne's things back up so we can weigh them ourselves. We're taking this load to an industrial weigh station. These scales are government certified and checked regularly for accuracy. The truck was first weighed empty, so we can measure how much heavier it is with contents inside.
Where do I sign here, my dear?
Just down here, sir.
Okay.
The weight of Corinne's move?
3,400 pounds.
That's nearly half the over 6,000 pounds Atlantic Van Lines says her move weighs.
3,400 pounds. Not 6,000. Definitely not justified the original price that they gave me.
You too. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I can't have that. Putting a bad reputation on us, too.
Had Corinne only been charged for this weight, her cost would have been about $1,600, not over $2,700.
I think that this company in particular should be held accountable for what they're doing.
So do we, if we can find them.
Just a Shoppers Drug Mart.
At every address we check, no luck.
And it's another Shoppers Drug Mart.
Looking for answers on your marketplace. If you had moving problems, talk about them at facebook.com/CBC Marketplace. Marketplace is on the move. We've packed up a one-bedroom apartment worth of belongings and hired moving company Kingsway Van Lines to ship it across the country. Our GPS is tracking the trip, but 2 days in, our things haven't made it very far. The truck only traveled about 20 minutes from where we started. It spent the weekend here.
That's our stuff sitting there in a movie theater parking lot for an entire weekend.
That's just unbelievable. When we pick up a small shipment like that, we come back here to the warehouse.
This is a secure facility.
It's a secure 24/7 security, set 9 cameras in the parking lot.
Jim Carney believes incidents like this give the moving industry a bad name. He wants standards.
We're moving our stuff from Toronto to Calgary. Still don't have a move weight, though. Think that's unusual?
Yeah, you should have a move weight within 24 hours of the shipment having been loaded.
Should it ever happen that you aren't finding out what the weight is until moments before delivery?
It should not happen, and if they're finding out about it at that time, and if the weight is far in excess of what they were told, then they should witness a rescale.
So what's Jim think of our rescale of Corinne's move?
And it was about 3,400 pounds, not the 6,000 they were suggesting. What does that say to you?
Well, that says that they need to be taken right out of the moving business. That's just horrible. And if they're doing it to her, then they're going to be doing it to other consumers as well.
Consumers like us? We don't know that yet. What we do know is exactly what our things weigh. Yep, before we shipped it, we brought it here. Another weigh station with certified scales. Scott Barton is the scale master. He records the weight of our truck both unloaded and loaded. Tickets for both weights are printed directly from the scale.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
Good. So what are we looking at?
Your weight of your contents is 1,400 pounds.
Do the tickets for movers look like this usually?
They'll always have the name of the company, and when they punch the ticket out, you get the date on there. Mm-hmm. You get the time. Mm-hmm. And the weight?
1,400 pounds. Okay, Scott, thanks so much.
And here's
I'm
your
going to
ticket.
take both of these tickets. Yep. Oh, yeah, you get one copy of it, right?
There you go. There you go.
Much appreciated, sir.
Okay,
have a good one.
All right, have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's been over a week since Kingsway picked up our move, but we still don't have a weigh ticket from them. What we do have our hands on are these weigh tickets given to customers of Trillium and Kingsway, supposedly as proof of what something weighs. 3 different moves over 3 different days over the course of an entire year, but take a closer look, all weighed at exactly the same time, 7:49 and 17 seconds.
They're saying exactly 7:49 and 17 seconds in the morning, they weighed this move, they weighed this move, and they weighed this move.
Yeah, I can't believe that's just incredible. Absolutely incredible.
A mistake or something else? We don't know, but Jim wants more industry oversight.
When you see examples like what you're talking about right now and moves that are going twice and 3 times the amount that was estimated, I think you got to involve the law anytime you can.
So what's going to happen with our move? Our things have made their way through the prairies and are now in Alberta. Kingsway tells us they'll be at our storage locker in Calgary by 10 a.m. We're there waiting, but 10 o'clock, 11, 12 o'clock goes by. By the time they arrive, they're 5 hours late.
Do I need to like be checking things off as they come off?
Could if you want.
Okay.
Disagreements over weight are nothing new for these guys.
First customers in the morning, because usually it's grouchy, they're arguing about the weight, right?
Oh, really? Do you get people arguing about the weight a lot?
Yeah, but we got scales.
They have a scale ticket for us, too. The final weight, not the 1,400 pounds our scales found. They say it's 1,890, nearly a 500-pound difference. That's $250. The time on the ticket, you guessed it, 7:49 and 17 seconds. As for the day they say our move was weighed, funny thing about that, the same day we know our truck was in the theater parking lot. The mover assures us if anyone's getting ripped off, it's not us.
If a company's going to screw somebody over, it's going to be the larger customer. It's not going to be somebody that's a couple thousand pounds, they'll put another couple hundred pounds. It just makes no sense.
But they don't know the jig is already up. Time for answers.
How is it that you are charging for more than the actual weight is?
It's a mistake sometimes, it's error.
This is your marketplace. What you need to know before you hire a mover at facebook.com/CBC Marketplace. This is your marketplace. Our investigation into moving companies connected to Elena and Murat Baldock has uncovered a trail of customers who believe they were ripped off. When we hire them for our marketplace move, we get overcharged by nearly 500 pounds. So, what do the Baldocks have to say? We share our findings and ask for an interview. While they'll respond in writing, they won't talk on camera. But we want answers, so we're heading to where they work. Atlantic Van Line's contract says the company is in Pickering, Ontario. But when we show up at the address,
Just a Shoppers Drug Mart.
same thing when we look for them at the addresses listed for Kingsway and Trillium.
And it's another Shoppers Drug Mart.
Finally, we do find an actual office for another of their companies, Troy Transportation.
Yeah, no one here either.
Since we can't find them where they work,
Murat, I'm David with CBC Marketplace. How are you?
we catch up with Murat Baldock while he's out in downtown Toronto.
Why is it that Kingsway, Trillium, and Atlantic have multiple complaints that people get one weight before they move and end up being told it's considerably more?
So you are telling me that I'm ripping up people? Don't tell me I am doing this on purpose.
I am telling you that there are instances in which you are charging more than the actual weight.
Why don't you go look at my nice customers? That they say, this company is awesome, I move with them.
In fact, we did, reaching out to 20 who left positive reviews. Only one person responded, and she says she reviewed too soon. Once it was delivered, she had a list of complaints too. Still, Murat insists his company is legitimately weighing people's moves.
But Murat, you're telling us that it was weighed at the time it was in the movie theater parking lot.
But there can be error on the times and date too. Accident can happen.
Yeah.
You understand? I gave the scale ticket to office.
Yeah.
If the office if the date is wrong,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that I didn't scale that stuff.
Look, Murat, ultimately, here's the issue. You're charging your customers
What
more.
was your name again?
David Coleman.
David Coleman. I
Yes.
like you, David Coleman. Okay. I wish I could talk to you more,
All right.
but I really need to go.
So I'm going to let you go. I just have one question.
Sure.
Are you charging more than
No.
you should be?
No. No,
Thank you,
sir.
Murat.
No, sir.
Okay.
And I am always ready to serve my customers.
Okay.
Trust me.
The Boldicks never do explain why the timestamp on 4 moves are the same. What they do say is they stand by their own records, treat their customers fairly, and that errors in the moving industry happen. But those errors can have a high cost for families like Corinne's.
I'm going to hold them accountable for what they're doing to families, what they're doing to lots of people that probably feel like I do, that they just want it to get over with and just be done with it. Well, I'm not done with it. I'm going to hold them accountable for what they're doing. See what's in there.
Oh, yes, my pistol. This is a gun.
Oh, this one's for you.
For today, though, Corinne's focused on what's always mattered most, building a future without having to give up the past.
It's things that you can't replace. Yeah, look at that. It's just things you can't replace. This is a picture of my parents.
In the weeks ahead, we'll have this story. Online reviews. We all rely on them. But are they for real?
I was fooled by that, and I like to think of myself as an educated consumer.
We're searching for one of Canada's most popular online reviewers.
I've personally seen numerous people lose 9 to 11 pounds during their first week.
She sells hundreds of testimonials. Problem is, they're all fake.
I'm a certified financial advisor, and I'm a designer, and I'm a teacher.
We want to know why she does it.
Why do you do so many fake reviews? Aren't you misleading people? I don't even know who you are. Get away from my car.
Why won't you talk to us?